Wilder's sparring partners, Junior Farr, come out recently and said that Wilder had this bicep injury prior to your fight. Doesn't know the extent of it, but it seems a bit weird that story came out only about a month ago from the sparring partner. Did you read that? Did you see that?
Yeah, I've seen it.
What did you think of it?
Not a lot, to be fair. I had a bicep injury going, and it wasn't uncommon knowledge. I had straps on me bicep going in. I had a strap on here and here in most of the sparring sessions. I had a torn bicep going into that fight myself, but it is what it is. You're not going to pull out of that level, are you? You know, with a few days to go, you man up and get on with it, and we both did.
See, I spoke to Ricky Hatton. I'm not saying he was or wasn't. I'm saying if he was actually injured, he should have pulled out the fight because it was a fight of that magnitude.
Yeah, but you know, when you're in fight mode and everything's going on, you're always going to be injured. You're never going to go for a full training camp and not have niggling injuries. I've been in this game for years. It's made me an animal.
Which bicep was injured, if I may ask? Because I don't read it that much.
Do you know what? I'm not actually sure.
It couldn't have been his right bicep, because all he needs is, you know, the thing that everyone's pushing is that you only need one shot, the right hand. 2 seconds, is it? They need 12 rounds. I need 2 seconds or 1 second. But no, going into these fights, if you're training hard, like in any other sport, you have some kind of injury, or you're not training really. You're going to have some injury, but it has to be an injury that will prevent you from performing. So if it's an irritated or something wrong, injury, it's not an injury to take you out of the fight. There are some injuries that do take you out of the fight, but
massive cuts in training.
Yeah, so so it all just depends on the injury. That's about it. I mean, you look at all the sports players, especially, I got to be funny, but football, soccer, those guys fall down like they're about to die, and then they just jump right back up and start playing again.
Some do.
Those are the responses from Tyson Fury and Javon Sugarhill as they explain, or as Tyson Fury, responded. He didn't really think much of it. He said, well, hey, I had an injury myself, but that didn't stop me from going into the fight. You're in fight mode. There's no excuse. You man up and you get on with it. I don't remember Tyson Fury having an injury, but of course it wasn't brought up. But the main thing is, if Tyson Fury was beat, would have came up? I guess we'll never know. Unless something happens in the third fight that, that would be common knowledge. He said that was common knowledge or whatnot. I just didn't hear it. Not saying a liar, not calling anyone a liar, but I didn't hear that. And being that said, Javon Sugarhill said, well, hey, if you're not training right, that means if you're training right, you're going to get an injury. So that was new to me. So I really didn't know or understand, I never heard that. But hey, I guess that's what they do in the crunk gym. Tyson Fury said that makes him an animal, right? So it's one of those things where they really didn't look at it. Now, Javon Sugarhill did want to know what right hand. Okay, to counter that, it was the right hand. The right bicep was supposed to be falling off the bone. Let's see if we hear the extent of how it was, because that was Junior Farr, okay?
Most do.
Some do. Soccer. Football, yeah. Just come back down here.
You gotta shake it off. Shake it off, keep on rolling.
Just soldier on.
Yeah. If it's a big war out there, you're gonna just sit, the injured guy's just gonna sit out with just a little ankle sprain or something, paper cut. I'm injured every time I go into training camp.
You've been injured today, to be fair.
You saw me working on myself, right? I'm trying to rehabilitate myself. Therapy. It's bad. I never felt like this before. But, I'm not going to cry about it. I mean,
whose phone's that?
That's yours.
No,
Javon Sugarhill, that's him, of course, doing his subtle joking, trolling, and really making fun of the fact, like, hey, well, you got an injury. So what? I get an injury all the time. You're not going to cry about it. What are you going to do? You're going to go in there and you're going to fight. And basically what he was saying is he was calling Wilder, from that, because of that excuse, because that's what it looks like. That's what it will always appear like. Okay. That was just the latest thing. Now, it was confirmed by Wilder that he was injured. He said he was injured in the fight. Okay. Well, in that case, these guys don't care. These guys are not falling for the BS. They're not believing any of it. And it's not relevant. And it shouldn't be relevant. And, honestly, from everything you've heard from Team Wilder or on the behalf of Team Wilder, it shouldn't have really ever been, none of this should have ever been spread or rumored. Okay. I mean, here's my thing. If I'm Wilder, I would at least tell people to shut up. I wouldn't even allow people to say what they feel or what they saw or what they acknowledge or what they witnessed in the training camp with anybody, because that's something that doesn't even really supposed to be mentioned anyway, what goes on in someone's training camp, because they're preparing for a particular opponent. And one thing you don't need is leaked information. Okay. Now, according to Javon Sugar Hill, he's like, hey, you're not going to cry about it, meaning that's what he feel they were doing. Okay. I'm not stupid. I can read between the lines between what a guy is saying. And that's what Javon Sugar Hill is saying. Tyson Fury didn't make it much of it, so they're not buying it. That's my counterpunch on it. You guys tell me what you think. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.